No, you talking loud,
you talking loud,
and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it.
No,
and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males.
But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck people right now. You doing the easy. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah, homie, let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
you do.
suck.
You do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you. I don't
Believe me
do
when
that.
I tell you.
I don't do
I
I don't do no sucky. I'm a mother man. I don't do no sucky.
I don't give a about none of it.
So we all remember that infamous night when Anton Daniels visited the 5150 show, Cory Holcomb. And man, it got real crazy, right? You know, they got in each other's face. They was about to fight. You know, Cory Holcomb was really calling out Anton Daniels for his Sambo ways. And then Anton Daniels retaliated and said that he SD. And all hell broke loose on the show. Now, it didn't come to blows, but it almost. But, man, this thing was real crazy, right? I mean, it was real crazy. It escalated where we could see it go there, and then it went this way.
I don't do no sucky. I'm a mother man. I don't do no sucky.
I don't give a about.
So in the aftermath of this situation, the very next day, Anton Daniels went on to his morning show, was like that Millionaire Morning Show, and he went berserk. And he was trying to make it clear that he would have beat the you-know-what out of Cory Holcomb. He was telling the whole world that he was going on to all kinds of podcasts talking about what he would do to Cory Holcomb, right? And it was just funny, right? Y'all remember this?
I want to be very, very clear. I want you to hear it from me directly. I would have beat Cory. These in real life is frauds. Who Cory didn't beat up? Cory would have got the beat out of it. Do you know? Listen. Cory is, I'm going to tell you right now to your face.
Now, as I was saying, Anton Daniels would go on to all kinds of podcasts and sit down and say a whole bunch of disparaging things about Cory Holcomb, right? And Cory Holcomb had yet to respond. Because remember, he only come on every Tuesdays. So everybody was waiting to see what Cory Holcomb was going to say since we saw that altercation that they had that prior Tuesday. But that whole week, Anton Daniels was making money, bank, talking big trash, going on to all kinds of panels, saying what he would have did and talking trash about the black community and talking trash about street guys and everything. Man, but when Cory Holcomb struck back, he went deep and he cut deep. He went in an area that I wouldn't have went into, but I think that he went in an area where he knew it would really cut deep and get to Anton Daniels, and it would sink his ship. So he went to his show, the 5150 show, and I don't agree with what he did, but he came with this.
That's his daughter. This man said he ain't got no children out of wedlock.
That's Cool Mo daughter.
That's who?
Not Cool Mo daughter.
That's the air up there. Look, let me tell you something. Don't make no more kids. That gonna be buying like you afterwards.
So after that Tuesday segment of the 5150 show, we saw a change in Anton Daniels. Now, I don't know if it was real, if it was fake, whatever it was, but Anton Daniels was very humble, very humble. He went on to his Millionaire Morning Show and sounded like he was ready to cry. He was broken. He was humble. What Cory Holcomb did was real ugly, man. You know, he had the images of the primates, and like I said, I don't agree with that. I think it's hypocritical for us to talk about W supremacy and then we use W supremacy tactics on actually each other, right? Those calling each other primates and all that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. You know, I didn't agree with that, but they was at war with each other, and I can't tell people how they should respond, right? These were two men. They was going back and forth, and Anton went low, so he went lower, right? And then you had Anton on his show, now humble, doing this.
She's broken. She's broken. So for me personally, I have to figure out what that looks like. And I'm willing to do anything to protect my child to make sure that they get the best care possible.
Now, at that point of time, Cory Holcomb had everybody on his side, right? But then at some point, Cory Holcomb went too far. And he didn't know how to shut up and shut his mouth. He runs his mouth too much, right? He gets in his own way. He's his own worst enemy. You could tell that he's the reason why his career is the way it is, because he's stupid. And he got people around him that knows he's stupid, but they use him just to get the attention on them that they're looking for, right? That they're looking for. That's the only reason why everybody can see it. He steps on his own feet, right? That's Corey Holcomb's problem, right? Around from then to now, there's been a lot of crazy jokes that's come out about Corey Holcomb, and a lot of the community has turned on Corey Holcomb in a big way, right? But we knew that there was some stuff brewing behind the scenes, because Anton Daniels alluded to it. Anton Daniels was saying that, there may be some lawsuits. I may sue. Now, his 17-year-old daughter had nothing to do with it, but that's the way Corey Holcomb wanted to go, right? But he also talked about Anton Daniels' wife. Now, I'm no fan of Anton Daniels. I don't like Anton Daniels. I believe that Anton Daniels started the whole thing, right? I believe he went onto that show to create where we are now. That's on purpose. That's the stuff that Anton Daniels does for content. We saw the situation with Mika, and that's a whole nother story. Anton is who he is, right? He's the ultimate Sambo. But now, with all this stuff going on, the bombshell has dropped, and now the lead attorney is reporting this.
All right, so we got the T-shirt. And again, so we talked about the T-shirt with respect to the daughter. Then you got the T-shirt also with respect to the wife. So we're not really going to go through this. It's the same thing. They want punitive damages, not just compensatory damages, punitive damages. You got IIED, also known as the intentional infliction of emotional distress. What does Anton say? He says, listen, by publicly declaring my daughter to be an ugly dyke, and by exhibiting and selling a T-shirt containing a picture of her as an ape, Cory and the 5150 show caused Anton's daughter to suffer severe emotional distress. Cory knew that Leslie would hear the false and degrading description of her, and would know that Cory and the 5150 show were hawking a T-shirt with an image of her as an ape. Gorillas in the mist. Anton's daughter did, in fact, hear the defamatory description of her and see the degrading T-shirt. Oh my God. And I think it was some crazy stuff that was being said about this girl. Cory knew that the emotional distress would probably result from their conduct, or gave little to no thought to the probable effects of their conduct. Now, I don't know. Anton says that Cory's conduct was a gross and despicable, and Cory's conduct was gross, despicable, and beyond the bounds of human decency. Cory was guilty of malice and oppression. As a result of the despicable racist trope, the defendant is entitled to an award not only of compensatory damages, but of punitive damages as well.
So Anton Daniels is letting you know where he stands. He's going to sue you, right? This internet stuff is crazy. They were going back and forth. It was two men. Now, Anton Daniels, he says a lot of disparaging things about a lot of people's kids, right? He does a lot of crazy things online. He says a whole lot of weird stuff, right? Listen, he had that situation with Mika, right? He comes online and he portrays himself to be this good, faithful Christian and faithful to his wife, but he's in hotel rooms with other women, right? He's being hypocritical, talking about this guy embarrassed his daughter, but he embarrasses his daughters and his wife with his behavior every day. Now, that's no justification for what Cory did, because I disagree with what Cory did. I think that Cory could have been just as funny getting at Anton Daniels the way he was, right, on his show, where he didn't have to invoke his daughter, right? But at the same time, Anton Daniels is a dude, like I said, He got the Mika scandal. He got all kinds of women on here talking about he was trying to fly them out and clap their cheeks and everything, while at the same time ridiculing the black community, saying black culture is trash. But he's actually exhibiting the same trash culture that he's criticizing the black community about, and embarrassing his family. We saw when his wife went on Natasha K, what she was saying, she implicated that she was down with it. Like, the whole thing is just a mess. But the lead attorney, who now was at odds with Cory Holcomb as well, because everybody started coming down on Cory Holcomb too, he started going after the lead attorney. The lead attorney had to expose him, but he wasn't done reading off this lawsuit. He also said this.
Then you got intentional infliction of emotional distress, also about the shirt. And then you got violation of California Civil Code. Says that Cory violated California Civil Code by displaying the photograph of the daughter, a minor, without prior permission of plaintiff or her parents for commercial gain or profit. Says the defendant's conduct was knowing and intentional. At the time that the defendant Holcomb displayed the photograph during his podcast, he stated that it was a photograph of Anton Daniels' daughter. So Anton wants compensatory damages in an amount to be proven at trial, punitive damages for the first, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth causes of action. Oh shit, he wants attorney's fees. También, claro, obvio. You gotta have the attorney's fees, and for cost of litigation. So he's asking for money, guys. What do you think? Do you think he's got a good case or a bad case? Now, this was filed on the 24th of February. Now, supposedly, when you get a lawsuit filed, you got 30 days to respond. You got about a month to respond, depending on the jurisdiction. So that would mean that Cory has until March 24th to respond, right? So has Cory responded to this? But maybe not quite, because you gotta consider it's not the date that you file the case, it's the date that it's served.
And see, I've been on YouTube for a long time, basically damn near since 2009. Coming out of the Pan-African, pro-black B1 sector, right? I was, out of Sinetta TV and all those areas. I was on here for a long time, and I've seen a lot of different beefs. I've seen a lot of people doxing. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I tried to stay away from the WWF wrestling of commentary and YouTube. I try to stay away from that. A lot of my focus was on a black family, black wife, black children, raising your family, and putting out a different image, because I always saw that for years other people was in control of our image, and finally with the social media, we had control of the way we wanted to present ourselves, right? So I try to stay away from that. Now I report on this because I make money off of it, right? It's they open up a door where we can make a lot of money on social media, having conversations and reporting the news and reporting on things that go on. So yeah, we make money off of it, right? But I once it start getting into disrespecting people's children, doxing each other, playing a character or something that takes away your integrity, right? I'm not with none of that. Now, I've been online a long time. I'm sure some videos where I wasn't being the best of myself at times. It's been like 16 years since I've been on it, so I'm sure I done said or done some things that I'm not proud of, right? But for the most part, I haven't partaken in this kind of behavior to the point where somebody want to have a lawsuit against me, or I want to have a lawsuit against somebody, or I'm just blatantly just disrespecting somebody's children or family, or playing a character where I'm embarrassing my house. And this is the stuff that Anton Daniels and Cory Holcomb has gotten into, and it's went too far. It's went too far. It's to the point where now you're willing to sacrifice everything just to get attention from the people, right? And that's something that I never really wanted to be a part of, right? And sometimes it may happen, and you gotta have the wherewithal to back down or to say, you know what, nah, I'm gonna fall back, because that's not what I came on YouTube for. That's not what it's about. Right? I got people that I'm responsible for as well, so I have to always carry myself a certain way. A lot of times people lose their way in this thing, man, because it can become intoxicating. You get a lot of attention that you never got before. People leaving you comments, you making money, and it can turn you into something else. That's why I always say I do YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I do YouTube because I still live in the real world. When I click off, I go into real life, right? This is me conversating on things that happens. And we come and we bring in the people, we have a conversation, but it should never go too far to the point where you got lawsuits against each other. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.